Hey, what's up everybody and welcome back to News Dose. We got some massive Pokemon news for the Switch this morning that's blowing up the internet right now. I am a big Pokemon fan, so I'm certainly excited about the games that they showed this morning. And if you did miss it, yes, I did say games as in plural. They announced a couple big Pokemon games today, some of which has sparked some controversy, which is pretty much expected from the Pokemon community anymore. But we're going to take a look at those games today. Really, I cannot tell you just how excited I am about these games. But obviously, we do have some other things to talk about. PlayStation revealed another amazing month for PlayStation Plus, and Xbox posted an update for Halo Infinite that looks just absolutely gorgeous, and for good reason. I wasn't expecting this, but we're going to go over all of that today. Let's start off with an update for an upcoming Switch exclusive though, Monster Hunter Rise. Monster Hunter Rise is a huge release for the Switch this year. I do 100% expect this game to be massive when it releases next month in March. Japan loves this franchise, and Monster Hunter really blew up last generation worldwide thanks to Monster Hunter World. It went on to sell more than 18 million copies worldwide across the Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. However, Rise went into a different direction and was designed around the Switch instead. These games in the past have been well known for being successful on handheld devices, especially the PSP, so it does make sense to see Monster Hunter Rise go over to the Switch where it can be played in handheld mode. Japan is going to love playing Monster Hunter on a handheld device yet again, and yeah, I do believe this will be a big system seller for the Switch in 2021. The thing is though, there have been some leaks that Rise will eventually make its way over to PC, and that has now officially been confirmed by Capcom themselves. Both their director and producer in an interview noted that a PC release is planned to release sometime in 2022. However, the Switch version is their original vision for Rise, and really I do think this game looks excellent on the Switch. This is one of the better looking Switch titles coming out from a visual perspective. I like the art direction that they took, but if you do prefer to play on PC, unless something changes, it will eventually come to PC sometime next year, and because the art direction that they took, I think it will translate into a really good looking PC title. Also, the March PlayStation Plus lineup has now been revealed, and it really does continue to be amazing. It's been this way since the PlayStation 5 launched, and it seems like Sony has made it their mission to really improve PlayStation Plus this generation, so check out this March lineup. It includes Final Fantasy VII Remake, Remnant from the Ashes, Maquette, and Farpoint VR. This is an absolute amazing lineup of games for the month of March. Obviously, Final Fantasy VII Remake is the big one here, and if you're one of those fans who decided to wait to play this game, you don't have to do that anymore unless you want to play it on the PS5. As good of a lineup as this is, there is one strange decision here, which was probably made by Square Enix. While yes, Final Fantasy VII Remake is included, you will not be able to upgrade this version to the PS5 edition that releases later this year. Now, if you purchase the Final Fantasy VII Remake on the PS4, that version will get the free upgrade, but yeah, they're not going to do that with the PlayStation Plus version. That is a little strange to say the least, but this still is an excellent game and I highly encourage you to go out and play it. It was actually one of my favorite games in the last couple years. Remnant is also a great game. It's kind of similar to Dark Souls, but more focused on guns instead. It's an interesting combination and works surprisingly well, and then you also have Farpoint, a solid VR title. So yeah, this is a great lineup, and we already know that Oddworld Soulstorm will release into PlayStation Plus in April. Again, PlayStation is doing a phenomenal job with PlayStation Plus. Unfortunately though, there has been some new reports about Sony Japan, the studio behind titles such as Ape Escape, Gravity Rush, and Knack. This is a very talented and creative studio. Now, we on the channel have talked about this several times in the past, so for those who follow the channel, this shouldn't be too surprising. But it's being reported that PlayStation is winding down Sony Japan. This means they have let several developers go and will not be renewing many contracts as they reorganize Sony Japan. Sony did confirm this restructure, and they noted that Sony Japan will be recentered around Asobi starting April 1st. Asobi, of course, is a part of Sony Japan and works on the Astro games. Those are amazing games, by the way, and in my opinion are some of the best 3D platforms out in the last decade. They do mention specifically the popularity of Astro's Playroom, so that part is good news. It does seem like they have plans for more Astro games, and hey, Team Asobi may get an opportunity at making some bigger games with the entire studio focusing on the same project. However, this is kind of why we have seen several key developers within Sony Japan here recently move on to their own studio. Those reports of Sony stepping away from Japanese development is absolutely true. We likely will not see games like Gravity Rush come from Sony Japan anytime soon. Now with that said, Sony will continue to have strong relationships in Japan. We've especially seen that with publishers like Square Enix. So they still have plenty of Japanese games, but as a first-party studio, it sounds like they want to focus on games that have more success worldwide. We've even seen this with their most recent PlayStation 5 shipments. Sony does seem to be prioritizing other countries much more than in Japan. The Switch is kind of dominated over there, and they do prefer handhelds, but only time will tell on how successful the PS5 will be there compared to the PS4. Next up, let's talk about Pokemon, because I am really excited about this. For Pokemon's 25th anniversary, the Pokemon Company hosted a Pokemon-style Direct today where they talked about 3 upcoming Switch releases. We did get an update for new Pokemon Snap, and that game really does take me back to being a kid again. It's very nostalgic, and I don't expect newcomers to understand why so many people like the original, but it really was a lot of fun. Here they talked about its online functionality and how you can compare your pictures to others online and even edit your own photos. That could be a cool addition, but the big announcements were definitely the ones that were announced shortly after showing new Pokemon Snap. Yes, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl has officially been revealed and will release in late 2021. These, of course, are the heavily rumored Diamond and Pearl remakes, which is something that fans have wanted for a very long time. Though based off the reaction today, not everybody was thrilled about this announcement, or more specifically with its art style. I will say the art style kinda surprised me at first. I didn't exactly expect it to look like this. It's got this chibi-style look to it, which is actually very faithful to the original Diamond and Pearl. I kind of like it though. It's not my favorite, and I do prefer how the Let's Go games look more personally, but I don't think this looks as terrible as some are making it out to be. It's just okay. From what I'm seeing though, they're trying to keep this a faithful remake much the same way that Link's Awakening was, being made by Grezzo. Now the character models in the Diamond and Pearl overworld, however, very much fit the original game, and then the player battles look more similar to the modern games. It's a nice mix of both. That was something else that was a little unexpected here though. These remakes are not being developed by Game Freak. I believe this is actually the first time that we've seen a new studio working on a mainline or remade Pokemon game. Ilka Studio will be taking the mantle for this release, though they are getting some help by Game Freak's director Junichi Masuda. So this could be a big shift for the Pokemon franchise, as we are seeing more developers come in and work on Pokemon games. This could free up Game Freak to work on some other Pokemon stuff, which we'll actually talk about here in just a moment. Let me know what you think about this art style though for Shining Pearl and Brilliant Diamond. Do you like it? And what do you think of these remakes? There still are a lot of questions about this game, including how many Pokemon are in it. I'm hoping they at least get the Platinum Pokedex in here, which included 210 Pokemon, but we'll see. I'm personally buying these games day one, but I want to hear your thoughts about these games. Here was the big surprise though. Game Freak is working on a brand new Pokemon game by the name of Legends Arceus. This is a huge departure for the Pokemon franchise and is developed by Game Freak. Just looking at the trailer, this gives me a lot of Zelda Breath of the Wild vibes. The world seems very similar, and much like Breath of the Wild being a departure and trying new things in the Zelda universe, Legends Arceus seems to be doing the same thing here. I mean, fans have been wanting to see a big jump in the Pokemon franchise and see new things, and well, here it is. Game Freak is getting out of their comfort zone and are trying something completely new. That is very exciting. Legends Arceus is set in feudal Sinnoh. The village acts as kind of a base. It's got this big open world to it. You can even see and catch Pokemon in the overworld for the first time, and it also has turn-based battles. There is a lot to be excited about when it comes to this game because it is completely new. It also appears to be more in line with the mainline franchise, having turn-based battles, but differing in other aspects. Think of how Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee was similar, but also different at the same time. That's kind of what you're seeing here, and I will be interested to see more on this. It's definitely the most ambitious Pokemon game that we've seen yet, though it is a little rough around the edges. The elephant in the room, yes, there was frame rate issues in this trailer. This is the messiest I've seen Pokemon in a trailer like this, but it doesn't release until early 2022, so hopefully they get that fixed up, because this game really does look like it will have a lot of potential. Again, let me know what you think of this game, and are you excited to play a Pokemon game in a completely new way? For me personally, this is a very exciting addition. As much as I love the classic style, I like that they're trying new things here. Right now is just a great time to be a Pokemon fan. Next up, we did finally get an update on Halo Infinite's graphics. This was a huge talking point last year, and how Halo Infinite didn't exactly meet expectations visually when they first revealed its gameplay. Fans were not happy at all with the initial reveal when Craig the Brute was born. So Xbox ended up making a tough but correct decision to delay Halo Infinite to better meet fans' expectations. Well, we got a new update for Halo Infinite as 343 Industries have revealed some new pictures, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. This looks so much better than what we saw last year visually. Now, I will stand by what I said last year though. The gameplay that we saw, I thought looked excellent and reminds me a lot of Halo 3, which is exactly what I want. I do prefer the original trilogy. The visuals though did need work, and you can see that here. They have done a phenomenal job improving the graphics for Halo Infinite. And one reason for that is because the Gears of War studio, the Coalition, is actually helping out with this game. Yeah, they're technical geniuses and they are helping out on Halo Infinite. Gears 5 Hivebusters on the Xbox Series X is debatably the best looking game on next generation consoles. There's only a few games that looks as good as the Gears games, not only visually, but they also do a great job with frame rate. So this bodes very well for Halo fans. You now have the insanely talented Coalition studio helping out with Halo Infinite, and everything seems to be firing on all cylinders now in the Halo universe. They did mention recently that they're pretty much done with Halo Infinite, and they're just really polishing the game now. I think we're in for a real treat when Halo Infinite releases fall of 2021. I know last year's gameplay trailer was disappointing graphically, but based off these new pictures, this is the game that we all wanted. I know it's easy to criticize Xbox and 343 for delaying Halo Infinite for an entire year, but I think instead they need to be praised for this decision. I'm sure it was a difficult decision for Xbox, but it clearly helped the game, and as we've seen with Cyberpunk, delays sometimes are very much needed to make a better overall game, and I think we are seeing that with Halo Infinite. On to the topic of the day though, I wanted your all's opinion on yesterday's PlayStation State of Play, and what letter grade would you give it? And you all very nicely and surely with kind words in the comments gave it an F. 43% of you gave it an F, while 28% of you gave it a C. That's pretty harsh, but honestly, I didn't think this was a great event either. I did think that they had some good games here, however. I'm excited about Final Fantasy VII Remake on the PS5 and Yuffie, and then Soulstorm being a PlayStation Plus game was a very nice surprise. Security Breach looked cool as well, and so did Solar Ash, but as an overall event, it was okay. I'd probably give it a C- at most, but I am kind of leaning towards a D. There was some good games here, but it just lacked a big surprise, unless you're maybe a big Five Nights at Freddy's fan. This was clearly a small type of showcase, but when there are events like this, a lot of fans are waiting for at least one big announcement. I think if they showed some gameplay for Horizon Forbidden West, that would have helped out, but overall it did have good games, but far from an event that draws a lot of excitement. Anyways though, that's it for this episode, but if you liked the video, don't forget the bell notification and subscribe button for more content just like this. Also, if you'd like to support the channel through Patreon, thank you for making this content possible. Peace out.